So I haven't made any videos because lately it's been raining and miserable. And you know what, guys? I'm sick and tired of the rain and being miserable. So I'm standing out here in the rain to tell you guys 10 reasons why you need to get your ass and get you a Dodge Magnum, specifically the RT though, or the SRT8. I wouldn't mess with the SXT or the V6s or the 2.7s. Get yourself a Hemi powered Dodge Magnum today. So as many of you guys know, I got this car on a trade and it has completely grown on me. And to be honest, guys, the fact that Dodge is doing away with their V8s very, very soon, and the fact that this car was only made for 3 years, and the fact that this is the only Hemi powered station wagon Dodge has ever produced, I just had to make this video. I am loving this car so much. I feel like I'm betraying my Panther cars. I feel like I'm cheating on my Panther cars, man. But the Dodge Magnum is absolutely worth the money. If you were on the fence about getting yourself this car, you're gonna hop over that fence after I'm done with you on today's video, guys. I'm gonna bring you guys along today and I'm gonna show you 10 reasons why you need to get yourself a Hemi powered Dodge Magnum. And let's start with reason number 1. There is nothing quite like a Hemi cold start. Yes, that's right. We're going to start with the sound. There isn't anything quite that comes close to a Hemi powered car. It's a very unique sound, and if you never own a Hemi powered car, you really wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But whereas most Chevys and Fords, you got to kind of tinker around, you got to mess around with certain exhaust setups, man. I swear to God, you just cut the mufflers off one of these things, and the sound is undescribable. But rather than try to describe it like a scientist and like a nerd, how about I just turn the car on and let you hear for yourself. I'm gonna let it idle for a little bit. Just listen to it. Put your headphones on. Turn your volume up. Listen to the music, boys. Listen to the music. So now for this next one, we got to talk about the big boy, the H to the E to the M to the I, the Hemi, ladies and gentlemen. Both the RT models and the SRT8 models came equipped with a Hemi under the hood. RT receiving the 5.7 liter version of the Hemi, aka the baby Hemi, and the power it made was actually pretty impressive. Sounds freaking badass, and it's actually pretty damn reliable. This particular car is sitting at 170,000 miles and not skipping a beat till this day. They're usually pretty straightforward to work on, although they do have 2 spark plugs per cylinder, leading to a pretty expensive tune-up. But the engine puts out 340 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque. It's a little on the heavy side, but it still pushes this big old boat to a 0 to 60 of 5.8 seconds. Not only that, it also comes with a 5-speed automatic transmission. Now, speaking of Hemi, there is, like I said, the SRT8 version, which came with a 6.1 liter V8. That SOB puts out 425 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. So we're out here getting ready to get the grocery getter filled up, and I noticed, we always come to the Hot Wheels toy aisle real quick, right? And I noticed, I was like, man, it looks like Wagons are making a comeback. I saw this Mercedes AMG Hot Wheels, And of course, now it's a wagon. I was like, damn, it's cool that, you know, they're bringing the wagons back. Wagons are finally becoming cool again. Let me look at the other Hot Wheels toys, and well, look what I see. Look at this Nissan Maxima wagon. Look at this. And we got the Volvo drift car wagon. Here's another wagon. Of course, we got one of the top G wagons. You got to have the Porsche Panamera. If that isn't a sign that wagons are making a comeback when your local Hot Wheels section is covered with them, then I don't know what else is. Let's say you need to transport, you know, I don't know, a lawnmower, table or something like that, but there's a problem. Your entire trunk, actually, I'm gonna keep it real with you, the entire trunk, nothing, because this thing ain't even stacked up. You can stack this thing up to the ceiling, but the trunk is filled with groceries, and Daddy's Grocery Getters needs to haul more things than just groceries. Don't you worry, the Magnum has that taken care of too. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? Why is this empty? Did I have to put all my groceries away in order to be able to transport that lawnmower and that table? No, all we got to do is just take this off right here, put it over there, and there's more space for all your groceries on the inside of the trunk. And you just close that back down, fold this bad boy out, and let's get to the heavy duty stuff above. You see, the Magnum has more tricks up its sleeve, because as you can see, the actual back chairs fold down. Not only do you have a whole ass pickup truck here, you got your groceries in there, but just watch the magic happen. So let's see, we got a trunk full of groceries, we got a freaking lawnmower, we got a damn big ass chair. There's more room in here. There's more room. I haven't even used up all the room in the back. I rest my case, ladies and gentlemen. I rest my case. A lot of people are saying, oh yeah, you just threw it in there, but the trunk won't close down. Let's close the trunk, man. Let's show these people. Let's make believers out of them. Come on, man, let's go. And if you have to make payments on this thing, if you get yourself a newer model one, and you just so happen to have to live in your car to make those payments, I'm pretty sure you can fit in here and actually live out of your Dodge Magnum. This is freaking awesome. I can literally live out of this car. Now, you guys can agree that most sports cars aren't very practical. And then the big old SUVs really just have a freaking underpowered V6 under the hood to lug nearly 5,000 pounds around. This car is severely underpowered. But one thing you get with station wagons, you know what? This isn't a station wagon. This is a power wagon. This is a power wagon. One thing you get with a car like the Magnum is you literally get the best of both worlds. You get the looks of a sports car, you get the handling of a sports car, and you get the practicality of an SUV. That is yet another selling point for the Magnum, is that it offers the best of both worlds. It has the best of a crossover, and it has the handling of a freaking sports car. Now, next up is going to be modern features. Modern features. Now, you guys know I come from the Panther car world, which is essentially a car that never changed from, let's say, the late 70s all the way up to 2011. Hold on, because you guys, if you're a Mopar person, if you just stumbled upon this video because of the Magnum, you will not believe that I'm a Panther car person. Panther cars are Crown Victorias, Lincoln Town cars, Mercury Grand Marquis. Here's my race car, Cobra Roush Crown Vic. Then I got a lifted off-road Mad Max Crown Victoria. I got a Mercury, an Aero old school Mercury Grand Marquis. And then I got like 2 more Crown Vics at the bottom, and I got a Lincoln Town car. One thing a lot of those cars don't have, even the higher trims, is modern amenities. Now, I got this super ghetto stereo system set up in here. Ignore that. But most units actually come with a full-blown navigation system here. You got GPS, you got for your auxiliary cord for Bluetooth, the Uconnect that came with Dodge. The thing also comes with heated seats. Oh, ignore the radar detector. Comes with heated seats for your passenger and for yourself. It also comes with dual climate control. But if you're a parent, obviously, let me look at this. It has a rear air vents. It's hard to see. The thing comes with rear air vents, which is freaking great if you're going on a long road trip with your family. Now, by true modern standards, even that isn't all that big of a deal. But if you come from Crown Victorias, that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big selling point for the price range. We'll talk more about that in just a second for the price range. So yeah, the modernness of it is amazing. Next up, we're going to talk about handling and suspension for such a ginormous car, for such a large vehicle. Remember at the beginning of the video I said we're going to focus on the RT and SRT8 models. Those are pretty much the only things worth buying, especially in the price range that these cars come at. The handling on these things, you get bigger brakes, you get better suspension parts, and if you get the SRT8 model, you get full-blown Brembo brakes, and you get an even more upgraded suspension. These cars handle like a sports car. Look at the size of this car. This car should not be handling like a damn BMW or something like that. Well, it is riding on a Mercedes chassis. I mean, it's the LX chassis. This Crown Victoria took several hundreds, almost close to thousands of dollars to get to handle like a Miata. These big old bolts right here came factory ready to carve up some corners, and they do. This thing handles like a champ for being so damn big. So yeah, the handling on this thing, for the class that this car sits in, for being a station wagon, is second to none. The next thing that the Magnum has over a lot of cars, and one of the reasons that you should buy it, is for its safety. The car performed exceptionally well according to the IIHS. Remember, this car is riding on the Mercedes LX platform, which does well in terms of safety. The car received praise for its body structure, and it got some damn good ratings across the board. Another thing that a lot of people don't know or consider when looking at a Magnum is that it is capable of towing up to 2,000 pounds, which means you can use the Magnum to tow around a decently sized boat, or even haul your agriculture equipment, whether it's a lawnmower or hell, even an ATV. Next up is that you can actually get yourself a Magnum in all-wheel drive. You can get yourself a Hemi powered freaking Magnum with all-wheel drive, which is perfect for this crappy winter weather that we're getting, for rain, snow, gravel. You have the storage capacity of a freaking SUV, the handling of a damn sports car, one of the best sounding engines ever produced. And all-wheel drive to boot. Again, and I'm going to say this again, this is something that's going to keep popping up throughout this video. For the price point, you can't beat that. And the last thing we're going to talk about is the value, is the price that these cars are going for. Now, I personally believe that this car will be going up in value. Not this car, I mean, although I am making it definitely go up in value, but the Magnum platform, specifically the RT and the SRT8, are going to be going up in value as people soon realize the value, the bang for the buck that you get for these cars. Personally, I think the styling is flawless. I think it's classic. I think it's timeless. And with the fact that Dodge is getting rid of their V8 engines, this is definitely one of the most unique Dodge cars ever made. Not only that, but there was very few of these cars made relatively to everything else that's ever been made in the automotive industry. This is one of those cars that kind of came at a certain time where there was the recession going on. People were getting more into SUVs, and they really couldn't find a spot in the car market for it. But now you can pick one of these things up for $5,000. You go on Marketplace right now, find yourself a Dodge Magnum RT. You can find them all day for $5,000 to $7,000. Some of the better example ones are going for around $10,000 to $12,000. And let me tell you, you get a hell of a deal with that price, with that money. Some of the Crown Victorias are now starting to go for $5,000, $7,000, $10,000. You get a 4.6 liter V8, 250 horsepower, Hands down one of the safest cars ever made, but it's not the most modern. It never received the updates that it should have received. This was literally Ford's redheaded stepchild that they never realized they had a gold mine. They were sitting on a gold mine, so they kind of neglected the Panther platform and the Crown Victoria. So for $5,000 to $7,000, you can pick up a Crown Vic, or you can get yourself a 5.7 liter, 340 horsepower, 5.8 second 0 to 60 freaking station wagon. I pulled up to pick up my kids in this thing. All the teachers, there's little kids like, oh, what is that? I like that silver car. Teachers are like, what is that? I've never seen a car like that. It's crazy. A damn station wagon breaking necks more than half the other people showing up with all these crazy cars at school. Either way, those are my 10 reasons why the time is now. If you were on the fence, you better hop on over that fence. You better hop on over that fence and go get yourself a Dodge Magnum RT or SRT8 before they go up in value, because they are going to go up in value, because now these cars are in the back burner. People are forgetting about these cars. They're worried about everything else, Mustangs, Camaros, all that. And hey, Dodge made a badass car, and that people seem to forgot about. And I think it's time that this thing gets its time in the sun.